So you want to make your Assetto Corsa go from this to this. Before the video starts, I want to mention that you do need Assetto Corsa Ultimate Edition to play No Hesi servers. They do have non-DLC servers, but they are buns. So I highly recommend you get Assetto Corsa Ultimate Edition. So a little disclaimer before we start this video. These are paid mods, and it will cost around $9 to $10 US, give or take. In the future, we will be doing a video on the free versions of these, the best free mods that you can get, but for right now, these will be paid mods, so I want to let you know that. We're going to get right into it. First thing you're going to do, you're going to download 7-zip or WinRAR. Assetto Corsa prefers 7-zip, so you're going to go to this link up here that will be in the description, and you are going to click download on the 64-bit. I have it on my desktop. I recommend putting all these on your desktop, all these mods that we're going to download. You're going to open it. You're going to click yes. You can't see that. I can. You're going to hit install. Then you're going to click close. 7-zip is done. That is out of the way. Now all the files that you download should be zipped. I have WinRAR. If you don't have either, 7-zip is perfectly fine. The next thing that we're going to download is called Content Manager. If you come to this link up here, also in the description below, you're going to scroll down. You are going to hit download directly. Again, I have it on my desktop. I recommend you put all your mods on your desktop. Now that we're in here, we're going to click contentmanager.exe, and you can see here that it asks for a couple things. It wants your Assetto Corsa root folder. If you don't know where to find that, you can open Steam, you can go to the library, you can go to Assetto Corsa, you can right click, go to Manage, Browse Local Files. So now you can see your directory right here. It starts in this PC, then my D drive, Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, Assetto Corsa. We're going to make life a little easier right now. We're going to go back, we're going to click on Common, we're going to right click on Assetto Corsa, you're going to hit Show More Options, and you're going to do Send to Desktop. So now we have an Assetto Corsa root folder on our desktop for easy access. So, in Content Manager, when it asks for your Assetto Corsa root folder, we now know the directory. We are going to go to this PC, D drive, Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, and we're going to click Assetto Corsa once. And then we are going to click OK. For your name, you can put whatever you want. I'm going to put my real name, which is Nick. We're going to install 7-zip, and we're going to install Ceph Sharp. So now that those are both installed, you have your root folder in, you have your name in, you have 7-zip and Ceph Sharp done, you are going to click OK. You can now see that we are inside Content Manager. This is basically easy access for the Assetto Corsa game itself, and it is a lot easier to go into and mess with things than going into the base game. You can mod in here, you can do several things in here. Content Manager is the one thing you should always have with Assetto Corsa. So now that we have Content Manager installed, we're going to maximize it. We're going to go to Settings and Custom Shaders Patch. We're going to go to 0.2.5. That is what No Hesi recommends for their servers. I've heard 0.2.6 works as well, but I know 0.2.5 is safe and it does work. So you're just going to click on it, and we're going to let it install. Now you can see over here, if you go over to the little hamburger icon that was there, you can see it says installing. You can see your downloads here. This will come in handy later for when we're installing No Hesi. Just remember this part when I talk about the download menu. So now that we've downloaded 0.2.5, we can minimize Content Manager. and we are going to go to Peter's Patreon. This is what Pure is. This is how you're going to get your graphics. This works hand in hand with Exilitays. He uses Pure with his graphics. So if you don't have a Patreon account, you are going to make one. Once you've made it, you can click on this link. You should be signed in. You are going to upgrade to the $1 membership, which is what I'm on right now. We're on the support membership. Then we're going to click home, and we're going to scroll down to his latest post, Pure 2.38. Now, if at the time that you're watching this video, it is Pure 2.4 or 2.5, it should still be the same. What we're going to do here is we're going to click Show More, and we're going to go to this MediaFire link. Now, I'm not going to show you the MediaFire link because the URL is copy and pasteable, and if I showed you the link, you would just be able to go type it in and download it. We are not trying to make Peter lose any money on this because this is great. It's awesome. So we're just going to click MediaFire, and we're going to download it and put it on our desktop. You can see we have Pure right here. The next thing we're going to download is X4 Fab. This is going to be your rain and weather for the game. This is that rain that you saw on the windshield with the wipers going on the windows, stuff like that. Some No Hesi servers require you to have weather on. You're going to do the same thing here. You are going to pay for the $1 membership, which is a supporter membership. We're going to go back to home. We're going to scroll down here, and you can see lights patch V0.2.7. You're going to download that, do the same thing, put it onto your desktop, and then we're going to move to Exilitays. Now this is the graphics pack that I am running. It is very GPU intensive. On a 4070 I run about 50 to 60 FPS, and then when I'm streaming I run about 40. Now there are Windows optimization features that he has in there to help you get better FPS, but I would recommend at least a 30 series to run Exilitays graphics. We're going to go to home. We're going to go to the Exilitays graphics pack V2.4 right here. Same thing. Drag and drop to your desktop once it is downloaded. The next thing that we're going to download is called Dynacam. So if we go into my Discord here and we go to Dynacam, we can go to the Overtake website. You're going to see it says log in or register an account to download this content. You are going to click register. Once you're on this page, you can see as monthly, yearly, and authorized vendors. We can skip all that. You can go down to the bottom here and hit join with a basic account here. On this path, you're going to create a username. You're going to put your email and password in, your date of birth, location, and you're going to verify. Now that you have made an account and signed in, you can now click this download button. Do the same thing. You're going to put it on your desktop with all your other downloads. The last thing that we're going to download is called Shotoko Revival Project. You are going to click the download button, and you're going to do stable release 0.9.3. The car pack is optional. If you do want to play on SRP servers, it will require their car pack. However, we're not looking to get that. I do have it. If you want to, they have a video right here and they show you how to do that. So now that we have all that, we're going to set up our game. We're going to start by opening the Assetto Corsa root folder that we put on our desktop. We're going to open the Pure download. Once in here, we're going to click on the Pure 2.38. We're going to take these 4 folders and we're going to drag them into our main directory. You want to drag them in the blank spot because you don't want to put them in the content, you don't want to put them in the crash, the extension. So you're going to drag them to the blank spot to make sure they merge in with all the other folders. So a good tip, if you click on apps and you hold shift down, you can click on system and it selects all 4. We're going to drag those over, let them download, and if it says replace files, that is completely fine. We are going to replace the files. So you can see right here it says this destination has 753 files with the same names. We're going to go ahead and click replace the files in the destination. The next step of the process is putting the weather in. Once this is done, we can close this. We can hit the refresh button, or you can just click on the blank part of the folder to make sure we're not selected in any folders over here. we are going to do the lights patch. This is your weather, this is your rain. We are going to open this. We're going to take both of these, the dwrite.dll and the extension, we're going to drag them into the main directory. We are going to click replace the files in the destination. So now that is done, we can close the main directory for now. We're going to close Content Manager if you still have it open, and we're going to reopen Content Manager. You can drag this Content Manager.exe to your desktop so you have a shortcut for it all the time. You're going to open it back up. Once that's open, we're going to go to Settings. We're going to go to Weather.fx, and we're going to have it make sure it's ticked active and it's on pure gamma. We're going to go to the Rain Effects tab. We're going to make sure that's ticked active. If that's all good and that's all done, we can close Content Manager and we can move on to the Exilitays graphics pack. We're going to open our main directory again along with the Exilitays graphics pack. Now he wants you to link your Discord. I don't believe you need to. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think that's necessary. His essential mod folders is the pure, which we have, and he uses the CSP full version, which you don't need, that's fine. So we're going to go to the third folder in here, and you can see it has a system folder. Well, if you look over here, we have a system folder, so that works out. We're going to take the system folder and drag it into the blank area of our Assetto Corsa root folder, and we're going to replace the files in the destination. So if we back out of here now, we can go to the fourth folder, Video Settings. Now, whether you run Ultra or Medium, that is up to your PC and what you have for your specs. I do have a 4070 and a Ryzen 7 7800 X3D, so I can handle Ultra pretty fine, but there are some spots where it gets iffy on the map. But we're going to run Ultra. So if you double click that, you can see it will open Content Manager. You're going to click Apply and Save. You can see it will open Content Manager back up. That just changed all your settings to Ultra. We're going to do the same thing for CSP settings. If you did Ultra for the video settings, you're going to do Ultra for the CSP settings. I'm going to do Ultra. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to hit Apply and Save, and we're just going to close Content Manager. We're going to reopen Content Manager. You can see we made that shortcut on our desktop here. We're going to reopen that, and once we're in here, we're going to go to our settings. We're going to go to the Assetto Corsa tab. You're going to go to video, and you're going to want to make sure your filter is on Exilitay Realism and your resolution is set to whatever your PC is. I'm on 3440 by 1440 at 165 Hz refresh rate, so I'm going to select that. Once that's done, we're going to go back to the Custom Shaders patch tab. We're going to again make sure that Rain Effects is still ticked active and Weather Effects is still ticked active. So now that you've made sure those two things are active, we're going to minimize this. We're going to go back into the Exilitays graphics pack. If you haven't already, go to the zipped file, and we're going to take this folder itself and drag it to our desktop. We've already done that, so we're good that way. He does have a reshade preset that you can drop into your game if you would like. He does not go into his new neck effect settings or the chaser cam mods. I do have my own that I recommend, so stay tuned till the end of the video for those settings. We're going to do the new reshade preset. We're going to go to the how to install. Then we're going to click on the reshade setup.exe. We're going to click on acs.exe. We're going to do DirectX 10, 11, 12, hit next. And in here with the browse, you are going to go, if you're on your desktop, you should be able to see the Exilitays graphics pack. You're going to go to his new reshade preset folder. You're going to go to the reshade preset folder inside there. Now you can see he has Exilitay video camera.ini. We're going to click that once, and we're going to hit open. And then we are going to click next. We're going to let this download, and then we're going to hit finish. Once that is finished, you can hit finish. We can close this for now. We're done with Exilitays. We're done with Pure. We're done with lights. The next thing that we can do is Dynacam. We're going to drag this entire zipped file into Content Manager itself. So we're going to close Content Manager just to refresh it, and then we'll go back into it. We're going to minimize this to make room to drag and drop that file in. So we gotta find it. It's down there hanging out. We're going to take this entire Dynacam folder and we're going to drag and drop it into Content Manager. You can see it says download is started. You can hit got it. You're going to click on the little hamburger icon and you're going to hit install. Once that's done, we can make it full screen. We're going to go to the settings tab, then the custom shaders tab, and we're going to click on chaser camera. Now you have a Dynacam on here. I always do a second camera, so we're going to tick the active button. We're also going to do Dynacam for that. Now we can go to our Assetto Corsa settings, we can go to the chase cam settings, and you're going to copy these. For the first camera, the distance is 6.5, the height is 1.35, and the pitch is 2.5. For the second camera, the distance is 8.5, the height is 1.3, and the pitch is 2.5. We can check and see if this works by going to the Drive tab and hitting go down here. If your game looks blurry like this, you can press the home button on your icon above your arrows, and we are going to go to skip tutorial, and we're going to uncheck this cinematic.dof. We're going to uncheck that. Now that fixed the blurriness. If we go to the third person camera, you can now see that Dynacam is working, and if we drive, it looks a lot like Need for Speed, and that is exactly what we want. Your game should already look better than it did before with these graphics on. So now that we're done with that, we're going to exit. We're going to hit close, and then we're going to go to our settings tab. We're going to go to the custom shaders patch tab, and we're going to look at neck effects now. The neck effects is in my Discord below. If you go to my Nicky Dubs Assetto settings, we're going to click on neck effects. We're going to click this Bloob Extreme Neck Effects Custom Shaders Patch Settings. We're going to click that once. It's going to open Content Manager again. We're going to hit Apply and Save. Once that's done, we're going to untick this Active button under Replace Original CSP Implementation with a Custom Script. We can do the same thing by going into Drive, and we're going to hit Go to make sure this is working. So now that we're in the race, you should be able to see that our game looks completely different from first person's point of view. You can see the torque, you can feel the torque, and you can just see that all around the first person is completely different. So now that that's hidden, we can close and exit this, and we're going to close Content Manager. We can now begin the install process for No Hesi. You're going to go to nohesi.gg. You're going to click the login button in the top right. You're going to log in via Discord. If your information isn't already punched in, make sure you do that. And this is a very important process. You want to make sure you link the correct Discord and your correct Steam account. If you mix and match and you don't have these same ones linked, or you don't have access to the one Discord, or you don't have access to the one Steam account, it is a headache of a process to unlink them and get it all figured out. So you want to make sure the first time around that you are linking the correct Discord and the correct Steam. We're going to click Authorize. Once you're in here, you can link your Steam. As you can see, I already have mine linked. Now we can begin the process of joining the No Hesi Discord. For you, there's probably a verification process before you can see all these channels. Once you've done that, you've read the rules, you've done all the requirements. To get into the No Hesi Discord, you can go to Public. We're going to click on US Public. If you're in the EU, you're going to click on EU Public. If you're in the OCE, you're going to click on the OCE Public. We're going to go over to the right side over here, and we are going to hit Enter here. It will open Content Manager, and you'll be able to see the list of cars that No Hesi uses. Now for you, it is probably going to say Install Missing Content down here for Join. You are going to click that Install Missing Content button. Once that happens, it will open up Content Manager. You'll see the 3 lines over here. Your downloads will be going. You want to wait for all the downloads to finish and then click Install. Once they have all installed, you can close Content Manager. We can go back to the No Hesi Discord, and you're going to click on Enter here again. This time around, it should say that you have all the cars downloaded, but the one thing you might be missing is the Shitoko beta layout. That's where the SRP download that we used in the beginning of the video comes in handy. We're going to install the SRP map right now. So you may notice that you can install the missing content for SRP. For everyone, it doesn't always work. So we're going to open Content Manager. We're going to restore this. We're going to lower this down so we can drag and drop this SRP map in. And that's all you're going to do. You're going to take this map, you're going to drag it into Content Manager and drop it. I'm not going to do that, I already have it, and it takes a little bit to download because it's a large map. Once you drag it in there, you will see the same thing that you saw with the cars and Dynacam and all that other stuff. You're going to let that download and then you're going to click install. You are now going to hit the X. You can go back into the Discord and you should be able to go to a server, hit enter here, and now on the bottom you should have a join button. So you can see we can pick all our cars here. Any car that is grayed out is a car that you cannot pick. So the G37, it is lighter in color, it is not grayed out like the Challenger. We can hit that and we can hit join. So now that we're in, I want to show you what this wrench icon does. This is how you access your setup, gears, tires, fuel, electronics, aero, alignment, dampers, drivetrain, generic, suspension, and pit stop strategy. The most important one you'll probably use is electronics. This is where you access your traction control and ABS and turn them on and off by either going down on the arrow or up. Another good feature is this driver with the chat icon. This is where you talk to other users inside the server, as well as figure out what server you're on. If somebody were to ask you, you can click on that, and you can see I'm on No Hesi Public 38 on the SRP map on heavy traffic. Once you are ready, you can click the steering wheel icon. Now a very cool feature that Assetto has is a usable infotainment center. If I click on Spotify and I hit the play button, girl, go ahead and show me how you go down. And I feel my whole. You can see we can play music through there. You can also go on Google. Good luck typing on there. It is very small. Right now YouTube is up. We're just going to go back to Spotify and we are going to cut for about a minute or two. So at this point I do need to mute the audio to that clip because it does have copyrighted music. I joined a non-copyrighted Spotify playlist and Low Life by Future is definitely copyrighted. So there's one thing I do want to talk about while you watch the clip. It is if you buy the VIP tiers for No Hesi and you go to join a VIP server and you get a handshake error, it is more than likely because you need to whitelist verify yourself. If you go to the left side channels where you went to public servers, there's a channel in there called Whitelist Verify. Inside there, you need to put your Steam ID numbers, not your Steam name, not your Steam URL, your Steam ID numbers. If you don't know how to find it, look it up. It's very, very simple. I'm not going to show mine because I don't know if you can do anything with that. But stay tuned to the end of the cut and clip. I'm going to show you how to bind a teleport back to pits button so you don't have to come to a complete stop in the middle of the road to go back to pits. So there are some rules to No Hesi, one of them being, and the most important one being, do not block the road. If you block the road for too long, you will be kicked. If you're AFK for too long, you will be kicked. If you have high FPS, or high ping, not FPS. If you have high ping, you will be kicked. You just don't want to block the road. I'm going to show you the best way to fix blocking the road because typically you have to wait for your car to come to a complete stop before you can hit escape and go back to pits. So we're going to exit. We're going to go to Content Manager. Once you are in Content Manager, you can click on Assetto Corsa. You can go to the Controls tab, and then you see your input method. Mine is the wheel. Yours might be the gamepad, which is controller, or keyboard and mouse. So for me, I'm going to go to the System tab over here, and you can see right here we have a Teleport to Pits button. For me, it is A on my steering wheel, so I'm going to click that spot, and I'm going to press A. Just like that, we have a Teleport to Pits button. And I also want to mention that before, when I said the number one rule is not blocking the road, the number one rule for Assetto Corsa, or for No Hesi, is not bumping other players. You will get banned if you continuously bump other players. So just make sure you're very careful, make sure you're very mindful of who's behind you, because somebody might have a 100 million score chain going and you hit them. you'd be pretty upset too. So just make sure you're very, very careful on a No Hesi. You don't need to be like super sketched out about hitting other people, but if it's like something you're going on there to do on purpose, you'll probably get banned. So just be very, very careful. If this video was helpful for you, drop a like and subscribe, as we are a new content creator just trying to grow our platform. This is my first video. I hope it was very helpful. Comment down below if it did work for you, and don't be afraid to comment if it didn't. We're always here to help. And I just want to say I appreciate anyone who's coming from my Discord, from my live stream, from my TikTok, or whether you're just here to improve your Assetto Corsa gameplay. I appreciate everyone who tapped in for the whole video, and I really, really hope this worked for you guys. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything I'm doing wrong, if there's anything I could do better, as that helps me out in the future. But I will catch you guys in the next one.